Hello and welcome to Mental Health Matters. It's Dr Audrey Tang here, and we've got another hour of mental health and well-being where we take a deep dive into all of those issues. Today my co-host is Judith Crosier, and we are going to be looking at exercise that is right for you. We don't go up to people and we go, oh my gosh, you must meet my friend Judith. She's so pretty, and you are, but that's not what I'm going to lead with. I'm going to lead with, she's so lovely, she's so kind, she's so thoughtful, she's so good at everything that she does.
Thank you.
But nothing to do with the outside, has it?
No, and the same with you. When I've introduced you to some people recently, I talk about your achievements, etc., and how lovely you are and how you put people at ease, all of that.
And that's why we wanted to do this particular show. And we've got two amazing guests coming on. They are Ricky and Dozah from Dreams and Resilience, and they are going to be talking to us about influencing on the one side, which is social media and the need to have a certain appearance, but actually really supporting people in real life achieve their fitness goals.
Fabulous.
And so let's go to fitness goals. I recently I became a burlesque instructor.
You did?
And I used to joke it's because that way I could sit down on a chair and still exercise.
You could do chair yoga for that.
You can do chair yoga. There are so many really good options out there. It's not like it used to be. You can run on a treadmill or you can do weights and that's
it. Was basically go to the gym or go swimming, wasn't it, really?
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And even then, pools are not that nice these days.
No, not all of them. Hopefully, no.
And the number of infections that's going too far. You don't need to hear any of that information. But when it comes to choosing an exercise routine, so to talk about burlesque, what I always do is I give options. You can do this, but if you prefer, you don't need to do the high impact, you can do something else. But people don't always think that when it comes to exercise routines. We kind of think, oh, I have to do this and I have to go at it in full pelt because that's what all the gym bunnies are doing.
Yes, yeah. And I fall foul to that as well.
Oh, really?
In actual fact, yesterday, I've started a 1 kilometre a day for February to raise money for charity, but to raise awareness, really. But last year I did one, which was it was 100 miles in May, so it's essentially 3 miles a day.
Right.
I thought, oh, I could do that. Threw myself into it. Well, I got plantar fasciitis. So painful. Lasted 8 months. Couldn't do any exercise after that.
Oh,
so you're absolutely right. You can't be throwing yourself into the wrong exercise.
Yes.
So I think 1 kilometre a day is really easy. I can do that.
And then relating to this, it's sometimes about not having the top of the range equipment, but having the right equipment. And a simple example was, I thought I was going on just a weekend break, so I'm just going to wear my fashion trainers because I can run in those. Oh my goodness, I've never had such bad blisters. I hurt my ankle. I didn't go over on my ankles or anything, but
there was no support.
No support whatsoever. And so again, sometimes it helps if you have some of the right kit.
Yes.
Just because it makes it a lot easier to exercise in those ways.
It does.
And the other thing is, what about exercising when it gets dark? I know we're going into summer now, so it's going to get brighter and lighter, but does that put you off? It puts me off. It
would, although I really love walking my dog in the dark.
Really?
Yeah. So I actively wait until it gets darker. And the downside is that when it gets dark, my dog whines at me because he wants to go out. So if I'm not going that day, But yeah, I love it because I find it really peaceful. But I can understand why people wouldn't want to go out alone, jogging, for example, running or whatever their exercise is. Because I've got my dog with me, I feel safe. I'm not sure what he would do in the event of anything, but anyway, I feel safe.
It's like mine would just jump up and lick the person.
Yeah, pretty much. But no, I enjoy it, but I can see why it's not safe in all areas to do that as well. I'm maybe lucky where I live, so
yeah. But again, I think that shows us how important it is to really think about the individual's desires, the individual's goals, and the individual's needs.
Yes, and circumstances and environment,
Well, this is what our next guests are going to be showing us. It is such a pleasure to introduce my next guest. I'm very excited to have them in the studio. It's Ricky and Dozah from Dreams and Resilience. They are fitness professionals. They're also all over social media, so do check them out. A huge welcome to Ricky and Dozah from Dreams and Resilience.
Thank you very much for inviting us.
So excited to have you in the studio.
You know, we are so excited to be here, to be honest, to talk about it, to get people influenced and, basically just spread our words out about mental well-being and fitness. So
as well,
do really appreciate you inviting us.
Definitely.
But they're so linked. They're so linked because when we feel good in ourselves physically, we tend to feel good mentally as well. But I love the name of your company, Dreams and Resilience. Please share your story. Tell me a little bit about that.
It started like let's say about 4 or 5 months ago, where like because I was training by myself these times, innit? And then I got a message from Rick this one time, and then all of a sudden I was like, yo, I want us to start training together, because obviously it's been a while, because like we used to train in the gym at London Road, but it wasn't as in like we're training together, because every time I come in he's always there, so we could...
So that time I was training to be a pro cricketer. So I was training differently. So I used to train alone, but I see Dozah is training ethic was insane. Every time in a gym, this guy was always in the gym. And I see, when you want to connect with someone, you just connect it.
Naturally happens.
And God puts everything in one place. So I seen this Dozah working hard on it, and then I realized, you know what, we need to work together and get each other brains and fitness. And then we just start training together.
We started training. We got signed up in Simply Gym.
We got signed up in the Simply Gym. And then from there we just start talking, and we just come up with the ideas that people needs to know about the dreams and resilience, to achieve them. You have a dream and you're resilient about it, but how you portray that to the people, it's a bit hard. So the only way you can do it by sharing your story, and by bringing out something they can actually wear on it. So dream and resilience is something that people can actually wear it. And they can feel it.
Because what we've done is like we've actually got 3 outlets with this company that we're trying to build. So we've got the fitness content side of things, we've got the podcast that we do every now and then as well, and then also the clothing. So we sort of use the podcast to actually help people in terms of like, obviously, if you're going through something or whatever you want to talk about, then you can come, jump on it.
Share your journey, share your fitness journey. And then with fitness content, it's just like encouraging people to come out of the house. If you struggle with mental well-being, if you struggle with mental health, it's the first step, like we always said in our other podcast and our videos, it's the first step that's harder.
I agree with you, and I think that's really beautiful, because you are really using social media as the tool it was intended to be, to reach more people in a positive way.
In a positive way. I know what you're saying, because social media right now is so, if you look at it, it's so kind of like fake.
It's broad.
And people are bored of looking at the fake thing. You just set up the camera. You're not saying the word what you actually mean it.
Yes, listen.
If you're not connecting right now what we're trying to achieve to you, that means and I'm not telling you from my heart, but everything is come out from inside, it's a feeling.
It's not raw, natural.
It's not raw, it's natural, but that's where the social media is deceiving as well. You see some shiny cars, you see some shiny bungalows, you see some shiny clothing, and you see fitness influencer or showing their stuff, but what they don't show you is the struggle behind.
There's a struggle behind it.
So that's why the behind the scenes are very important.
Important as well,
Behind the scenes are very important, and if you're not portraying what you actually gone through, how
someone can't relate.
You can't relate.
Yes,
simple as that.
Yes. And worse still, what we sometimes get on social media is you get these trends. You had the thigh gap trend. You've got this TikTok leggings legs trend. And it's making people think either I need to look like that now, as in, and that's where you get awful things like diet pills and all kinds of things which are not helpful. Or people just go, well, I just may as well not bother.
I mean,
how do you get through that?
I think it's wrong. I mean, the fitness industry shouldn't just be about, let's say, leggings and all that. It should be more about your well-being.
Well-being, 100%.
It should be more about your mental health and obviously how you feel good as well. Just don't go for the gym for the purpose of like, I want to look like that fitness model. I want to look like that person.
I mean, that's a good positive and a negative as well.
It is,
The influence is someone if someone wants to look like for a particular person, which will be motivating, encouraging.
Of course.
You want to look like that's your motivation goal. Okay, I want to achieve that body.
Yeah.
But if you just portray it just to put certain leggings and you just faking it, you're going to be happy for a certain point until you wear it, but you're not going to be happy for long term. It's going to start playing on your mind, and hopefully, slowly it's going to start building depression. What's going to happen? Because you know that person until you take it off. It's a different person, so it's quite deceiving at the same time.
Putting on the face, innit, while you... Yeah. That's what it is.
You know
but really and truly, it's not really what it is in actual life, so...
It's quite interesting. Perspective is a big thing. It's the way how you portray, is the way how you perceive the things, is the way how you persist the things. So if you look gold as a gold, it's a gold. If you look gold as just a pile of something rubbish, it's a rubbish.
Yeah, it's true. And I'm loving this because it is about connecting with influencers or people who are there on the authentic level, but that does rely on the influencer understanding this and being authentic like you are, and I think that's just so refreshing. It's beautiful. So going right back to the start, so now someone's watched this and gone, right, I really want to change some of my habits, but you know, I've been a couch potato for the last 5 years. It's hard enough for me to even get out of the house. How do I start? Do
you know what? Just take a step forward. If it's like, if it's the littlest thing, it's like going for a walk, like, because we did had a little podcast about this as well. Let's say you're struggling to actually start your fitness journey or whatever it may be that you wanted to start. Just take that little step forward.
One step.
Just go out, have a little fresh air, have a little walk around, and just think about it properly, and then refresh your mind. You just don't sit down and obviously expect everything to fall in place.
Fall in place, exactly. You know, all the time you're gonna see like there's gonna be 10% of people who will say, "Oh, that guy doesn't look very fit. Oh, that girl doesn't look good. Oh, she look a bit older while she's in the gym, this and that." That's the truth. That's authenticness. You know, you might, but that's only 10%.
Yes.
Switching that to positivity to 90% of people, they just want you
to be there.
Help each other out. They help each other out. They're just happy because you came out of the house, and it's a struggle, and it takes lots of courage when you in a house struggling, fighting your demons in your head, and you can't get out of the bed because you're in so much in depression. How does depression build up? Depression builds up when we press up on a negative thoughts. You press on negative thoughts and you keep pressing on it, and it builds up to the anger, then it's built up to stress, and from stress level it goes into anxiety level, and you keep pressing on that negative thought and it comes into depression. Then it becomes a condition. And it's just like, it's hard to break it out. But if you are struggling to get that first step, talk to someone, look at someone who is like giving you actual view, just come out, speak to someone, join it, just take the first step out, and I'm 100% sure once you take that first step, you'll be happy. You will go to the next phase of your journey.
You're so right, and that sort of leads me to my last question, because you're going to stay with us, and we're going to talk about men's health after this. But you work out together, you train together, and there is something about training with a partner that can help, or training with a friend, training with someone who spot you, anything. But sometimes it can hinder you as well. So what are the pros and cons? Just maybe one pro and one con of training with someone else.
Okay, I'll go with the pros here. So actually, you go with the pros. I'll tell the cons.
All right, brilliant, Dozah.
So one of the pros is like, obviously, when you're working out with someone, it's always good to obviously like push yourself a little bit more.
Yes.
Because that's one of the main reasons why you want to train with someone, let's say, maybe like a bit stronger than you. So like obviously you can get yourself to that level as well, and then be like, yeah, I'm coming up. So that's one of the pros, like just helping someone that you know that is above that level that you're trying to get to as well, because that's the only way that you're going to get there.
So I would say cons for is like we're gonna relate to each other. Obviously, Dozah is stronger than me. When I start training, he's still stronger. So I look him as a way of he's gonna get me up to the level. And this is true, guys. Those who in the gym, they know that this guy is a big build, so he's stronger. But the cons is that sometimes I feel like he's overhelped me. So these days, Dozah is quite busy, he's in honors, work and stuff. I've been training alone, and I feel like the weights I've been lifting with him,
it's gone down.
And it's gone down. So motivation is there, but the physical support is not there. But it's good in the way as well, because you came to realize that your own strength and your own demons are there. And when you train alone, sometimes I train alone and I don't use no headphones. You know why? Because I want to stay focused here. When you use the voices in your head by the music, sometimes I don't use that for purpose, because I want to repeat that repetition of things that I wanted, and I keep that repetition. You psychology, you know about the conscious and subconscious mind, how they work. Yeah. So if you want something in reality, come into reality, you need to get in your subconscious mind.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So there are pros and cons, but I love training with Dozah because he helped me to go up.
It's crazy because it's been such a journey as well. From how we started, cause we were all struggling at one point, like all of us, cause I can't just sit here and then be like, I'm strong and that, but I was struggling really until I've got days where I struggle, but he uplift me and then obviously put me there and it's like, listen, we gotta go. So it's just one of the things as well. It's just helping each other out and then make sure you get a good person that understand your dreams and obviously what you're trying to obviously achieve as well. That's just what it is.
Be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself, and and remember that what you do, especially in wellness, it must come from love and from passion. And in the beginning, you'll be giving a lot away for free, but trust me, it comes back. Sometimes you're thinking, gosh, how long can I do this for free for, but it'll all come back to you. I promise. Good luck. Welcome back to Mental Health Matters, and today I've got the absolute pleasure of having Ricky and Dozah in the studio.
Thank you.
They're from Dreams and Resilience. They are fitness influencers, fitness professionals, but they also understand the difference between social media and real life. But now we're going to start talking about men's health, because recently it's come into the newspapers a lot more that men are struggling with body dysmorphia. They are seeing all these images and thinking, I need to look like that. But the problem is, if their individual build is not like that, or they have a certain, they're of a certain age, or they have certain characteristics, which means they can't train in those particular ways, they're not going to get there. And how do you break that down and help a client unpack that and understand that?
Mental health is a big topic that has to be discussed into the era, because it's not been discussed, but it's coming out really good now, because everyone, no disrespect to any gender, but we talk about women mental health a lot, but men has been slacking behind, because women mental health is there, because women struggle as well, but men struggle as well. But if you look at back how men was built up growing up, you're not allowed to say certain things.
Difficulties and
you're
stuff.
Not allowed to, as a man, you need to say, do your work as you've been told. You know what I'm saying? Go provide for the family, do other stuff, and that's it. And if you struggle mental health, you struggle.
That's it. Yeah, it's like the man is always the head of the household. So if you're struggling mentally, then obviously the whole generation below you will struggle as well. So it's very important that, as a man to actually have grip, to have a good grip on your mental health, because it's really important. Going back to obviously body dysmorphia, I feel like it's one of them things where it could be a good or a bad thing.
Interesting.
Yeah. So say for instance, I'm pretty certain that every fitness influencer is one time going through body dysmorphia, right?
True.
So it's one of those where, okay, you can look at it in a positive way and be like, okay, cool. Obviously, I'm here now. This is what I need to work in. Work on my meals and then understand your body a lot more, instead of just oh yeah, do you know what? I'm always, stuck into that mindset of I don't look good, this and that, and then that develops into actually your mental health.
Of course it does.
It is dangerous.
To be honest, it depends what your goals are.
If
you're not clear with your goals, for example, if my goal is for this whole year is to get the certain weight, and I'm clear about it, and I have a plan. Bear in mind, this is a long process. This is not short-term process. If you're looking for quick fix, it's not going to happen, guys. I'm just going to tell you now.
Takes time,
it's a long process. Anybody who wants a beach body is not going to come for 2 months. It's a long process. Anybody you see in social media or you see in person, they have got a nice physique. They have put their sweat, dedication, time in there. Dysmorphia, it's a long process, but it can be a good thing, but it can be a bad thing as well, because every individual, like you said, is different. For example, prime example, I'm Asian. Dozah is African. I have different genes than those.
Yeah,
I have to work harder to get that.
You know what?
Dozah got better genes.
It's
a real thing. I mean, no, maybe it's not the nice, but it's nice to say. But
Yeah,
you got that genetics.
yeah,
Different to me.
That's true. I feel like one of the things is like understanding your genetics a lot more as well.
Yes.
Like, because let's say one of the bad things that you could do is actually jumping into like performance enhanced drugs.
Yes.
Yes.
Which obviously you don't want to do, but obviously understanding your genetics and your nutrition, which will help you build more like more muscle, and then obviously the certain areas that you wanted to be building, instead of just like going overboard and then you're sort of putting your health into harm's way. So it's not really clever to actually do that.
It's not. You can have you can have health supplements like protein vitamins, and all that. But if you just were looking for a quick fix and just not willing to put in the work, that's gonna help you long term than a short term, because what's going to happen if you're looking for a quick fix just for short term, it's gonna play up in your mind. And once your mind is in the right place, the physical body is not going to work for you.
That's absolutely true. And this is a problem that we have in psychology as well, because people, when they reach out, they come to you at that point of crisis, they want you to fix it and just take it away. But people have to work outside. So you can show us routines, you can show us nutrition, but we've got to do this outside the class. I mean, how do you encourage that?
It's like when I talk to someone, I always tell them it's a long process. You got to look at the journey, and then for the long process, you have to divide that into short-term goals. So if it's a big goal, don't look at the big goals. You have certain goal in your mind. Let's just say for 12 months goal is this is what I want to look. But now don't get discouraged because you keep looking at photo. Now you have to divide the long-term goal into short-term goals. To achieve that short-term goals, you have to go through everyday phases. You can even divide that short-term goals into small goals. So if, for example, if someone goal is just to be happy, what's happiness? What is happiness? You know what I'm saying? So the happiness that comes from inside, you relate to that. You know what I'm talking about.
Because that is the biggest problem we have in psychology. It's confusing happiness, which is a state. You can be happy all the time. Not a goal. It's not
a goal. It's not just because I'm gonna buy a Rolex watch, I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna see a certain stage, I'm gonna be happy. Regardless of what stage you are, you're still gonna be not happy. Because happiness is something that you just comes from inside, you know. You were just happy by looking at that bird flying in the clouds.
It's the littlest things,
your little things that just makes you happy, and is like you said, is for certain people, it's hard to explain to them. It's not a short journey. It's a long process. And if you're looking for a long fix, you have to stay with the course. You're not gonna get fixed. You're not gonna get bigger. You're not gonna get that physical, mental, and physical fitness in one session. You have to stay consistent.
That's literally one of the things as well. It's
consistent.
Like always
be consistent.
Embrace
the journey. Be consistent. Be dedicated.
I like that point about embracing the journey, because when you're training for something, even say a marathon or something like that, it's not actually the running the marathon on the day, because anything could happen on that day. It's the fact you got yourself to the gym every other day to train. You've built the habit up.
You know, when you're going through the process, how much you learn about yourself.
Yes.
It's a lot.
You know how much you learn about yourself? It's going through this journey. How much I learned about myself is amazing. And I'm sure it's same for you. I learn a lot about myself, that I am more than what I think I am.
It's true. I think one of the things is also your mental resilience as well. Like you got stronger. Because it's like, I remember when we started, even like when I was training by myself before I met Rick, I wasn't going as hard as this. And then there's times where like I'm just thinking, I'll just get in the gym 15 minutes, I'm out. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But now me and him, like, we have to finish the program we've started. I can't just go in there and be like 15 minutes and I'm out. I have to be, my mental resilience has to be there. It's taught us a lot.
It's taught us to give us some mental strength. And you know, the encouragement and the courageousness that we getting now to speak out. And share our journey
as well.
Is influencing lots of young generation. And we have a young generation coming to a gym, and you know, we see people outside as well. They're just happy to listen to us, and there's like, you are guys helping, doing something that helping us, and it's a female and male as well, because it is.
Yeah.
Because people love authentic. People love authenticness, the rawness. There's no fakeness in anything, and us coming out and you coming out as well, to bringing out that topic out, it's gonna help 100%.
A lot of people as well,
70 to 80, maybe 90% of the population, but maybe 10% those who are not gonna perceive it in the right way. They're gonna take it as a negative. But it is what it is. But we need that kind of people as well, because negative people can bring out more out of it than encourage us to
more
bring
resilience.
out more resilience out
there. So just because we're keeping you. They're going to put me through my paces in a moment. But just before we end this little segment here, how do you both look after your own well-being? Because you're clearly very disciplined. You push yourselves in the gym. You work hard at your business. What would you do to either relax or just re-energize that isn't work orientated? So let's go with Dozah first, and then Rick.
One of the things that I actually find myself doing, like let's say if I'm not working or in the gym or anything like that, I like going a lot swimming. I like going swimming, just having a little walk around, just enjoying nature. Like it's just refreshing, isn't it? And then I remember this one time I was just sat at home, like, my day off, and I wasn't going to the gym as well. And I thought to myself, listen, I've got to do something. So I literally ended up going to the Parrot Marine and then walked for about 2 rounds. And he always laughs at me because I always go for long walks like that. But really and truly, it helps me because obviously it helps me reflect on what I've done throughout the week, and then obviously what I've got planned coming in the next week as well. So that's one of the ways that I actually just get myself out there, just relax. It's not always consistent work, or sometimes you've got to rest as well.
Yeah, I love that. And I know our co-host Judith, you will walk her dog. So what's your tip for your well-being?
I don't know, those sound very interesting, but mine is like different.
That's
because every individual is different.
Absolutely.
Every individual is different. I don't know you're going to relate with me or not, but I think people might relate with me, but mine is different. Because I do too much, my idea of relaxing is to just shut down. I have a days where I know I have a rest day. I will completely shut down that day. I will not move my body. I will just have a full on. I just have a full on. I will stay home, or if I have to go outside, I will shut down everything. Things I like to do is just like to listen to more podcasts and motivational videos. That's what I will do on my free time. And if it's something that I need to work on, I will just write up my goals on a day and then just leave it on the side. But I will not touch on that day. This might not be very the answer that you're looking for.
No. My husband would agree with you 100%. He would absolutely do that. I'm like you. I go for the walk. Stay with us. We are going to be back with Ricky and Dozah, but now I was down at Inspired Villages in Bedfordshire, where they are reframing retirement by really working on health and fitness as we get older.
Narrative of aging is all about the chronological age. So from 65 onwards, you are just getting old. But actually, biologically, by putting interventions in, by giving people a sense of purpose, by having a sort of change in focus, people can possibly get years and many years younger.
We come from a very large property, 4 bedrooms, 2 garages, large greenhouse and conservative and a shed, everything. We lived in Herne Bay for last 45 years.
Swimming pool.
Yeah, don't forget the swimming pool. So in the past there, in Kent, where we lived for 45 years, we did the things which we had to do. Mind you, some of the jobs which we loved, like cleaning the garden, doing the grass and washing the car and all that. But you had to do those. Here you do what you want to do. Yoga, gym, steam room, sauna, enjoying the coffee shop, the restaurant. You don't have to go out at all. I mean, for days and days. And it's beautiful.
By using the e-gym and the facilities and training,
I've reduced my biological age. I'm 76 and my biological age is 51. I use the gym 3 or 4 times a week. I attend classes, fitness, circuit training. I swim. So every day I do something. Some days I do 3 things. Include yourself in everything that's on offer. In the village, we're encouraged, and I encourage others to join me. We've got ladies that aren't quite so outgoing as me, so I encourage them. It's just enjoyment. I never thought I'd enjoy going to a gym and doing exercise, but I love it.
In each of our villages we have a wellness facility. We have an individual member of the team who is focused solely on people's well-being. That's our navigator. Within our gyms, we have a traditional gym that can do anything from yoga to Pilates to chair-based to strength-rated training. We have what we call our rugged interactive wall, which is like a whack-a-mole, which helps with core strength. And we have our gym equipment that is quite technologically focused, so we can actually create sort of real-life changes for people.
Right, just rest your hand on there, hit start when you're ready.
And what's this doing?
This is going to check your blood pressure. Well, a lot of people like to look after their health, and some people like to look after their fitness. So it's just a tool that's available to you. So a lot of people use Fitbits, they're off to the gym all the time, but then, like I said, some people like to just look after their health, their well-being. So it's for everyone, really.
The local areas across all of our villages, then we can sort of bring many people into the ecosystem of Inspired.
Well, it's just so handy to be able to do these things that we wouldn't do normally. The integration with another community, really, that have come from all walks of life. The friendship of the people here, but not only the people, but the staff. And that's a very big thing that is important to everybody, I think. You feel welcome when you come. The facilities are here that are shared for everybody are just superb for the age range that they focus on, I think. You can come and you can work on your own fitness and whatever you want to work on to improve yourself.
How do we think about aging? How do we work with people on their own terms to enable people to have a much more purposeful and more fulfilling later life? And therefore not necessarily live longer, but live much better for longer. And if we can actually help do that within our villages, here in Elderswell, in Turvey, in the surrounding areas, for people who possibly don't want to live with us or for any particular reason, then we can actually make some big, massive changes to the way in which people age.
I feel I should have been here long time ago.
Greetings, I'm Angel Marie Monticelli, host of Energize You TV, every Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time. Go to Fresh Takes right here on E360 and get Reikified and energized today.
Now, I'm going to be very cheeky and ask you to put me through some exercises. Now, I'm getting older, which means my body is changing. And some of the things I used to be able to do when I was younger, I can't do anymore. I've got less flexibility. When I get off of a chair, I go, oh. It's that kind of thing. But what about people who maybe need to start doing a little bit of exercise now just to make sure when they get even older, they can still take the washing out, they can still do those sorts of things. How would you get me started on some easy exercises we can do?
One of the things that I'll actually encourage people to do is like if you've got like a resistant band at home.
Okay.
You can always do these simple exercises where like you're working in your joints as well, especially your shoulders, your elbows, and also your wrists as well. So firstly, you can just like open up.
Okay, you can do this even without a band, can't
like
you?
a little, because like the resistant band comes in at different levels as well. So if you've got like maybe a level 2 strength or 3, it's a lot more like effective as well. So you can just open up. Just helps you with your shoulders as well, getting a bit like flexible and stuff. And then also you can like step on it, and then you can just go with your elbow joint.
Oh, so you've got the band there, and then you're pulling it up this way.
Nice and slow,
I see.
just lightly. Just get your joints moving, just like all moving and stuff as well.
Yes, yeah.
And then, you can do a lot more resistant work with that.
This is nice because a resistance band isn't that expensive, is
No,
it?
it costs about £2
pounds.
so
you can always get one, and then obviously, you can get yourself worked out. Yeah.
Do you have a Dreams and Resilience resistance band?
No.
Well, maybe that
will come soon.
Thank you.
We'll have them back. Brilliant. That's fantastic because even just simply doing that a few times without a band, I can feel it.
It's about the joints because, like you mentioned, the age coming into factor. Most of the time, what really affects with the age thing is about the joints thing. So if you keep moving the joints, so basically the muscles attached to it. So when it comes to the certain age, it's a joints movement. So like I said, if someone is not very confident to go to a gym and use that machine, maybe they feel anxious or something, resistance bands is one of the biggest tool that anybody can use at home. And then you can use, like Dozah mentioned, you can use for elbows, you can put it, you can put, struggles with the knee pains, you can use it with that one, so it's quite good tools to use.
And actually, just seeing you do that, you could do that sitting down on a chair, couldn't you, as well? So you don't even need to be...
So what you can do, you just put the resistance band in the chair like that, step forward a bit, and then just have it in the front, and then you can just go. And just just nice and slow, just get the joint moving a little bit, and then
I love that.
It's not gonna lie. My mom struggles with knee pain, so I bought her a resistance band, and now what she do is like she just put it in there, and then she just go like 1, 2, 3, and her knees are better, And at a certain age, they struggle to get on the stairs and stuff, and that kind of stuff. Another thing I would mention is that it's not about the age; it's about everyone. We don't breathe.
That is true.
Breathe.
We think we know how to breathe,
but we don't
just do
breathing. So breathing is the biggest process of relaxing muscles, of release any sort of pain. So if you like someone who's got disability and on a wheelchair or something, obviously there's lots of factors that including for that. For them to them exercise like going up all the up and breathe in. And then come down, so that's just working up our body.
That's simple,
and
isn't it?
It's same with the other people as well. When we do any sort of exercise, guys, don't forget to breathe. Even when we talk, right now I'm talking too fast, but I'm not conscious about my breathing. And I have to remind myself, be conscious about your breathing, because the more conscious about your breathing, the more the oxygen you're getting into the system, and then you're relaxing the muscle more. You are more composed, and you will see the difference in your own consciousness that you're much better. You feel good. You feel happy.
Yes,
that's the right word.
I love it.
Because when you're out of breath, that's where you start feeling anxious. That's where the heart start pumping up. You don't know what you're doing. The fear start kicking in, and you just feel stressful.
Yeah, absolutely true. No, remember those and very simple exercises that anyone can do, but don't forget to breathe.
Don't forget to breathe
properly from the diaphragm.
Exactly.
Now, what is next for you guys? You've got so much. You've got the 3 businesses already. You're training as well. So what's next for you?
Right now, we're just trying to push forward with the clothing that we're trying to get out there, and some of these like gym accessories as well.
So with the clothing, I see you're modelling, which I love.
That's it. So right now we have males tops, fitness clothing, The jumpers, male jumpers and female clothing is coming out soon. That's our summer project with lots of accessories. So hopefully we'll make sure you get your package as
Definitely
well.
will.
Bring you back and show.
Plus a resistant band as well.
Yeah.
So the clothing and the accessories are coming out soon. Again, it's not about clothing. It's about we need to pull out people and tell them this relates to you. So that's coming up. We're doing regular podcasts, which again we want to deliver a message. Anybody who struggles with mental health and they want to share their journey, regardless of man or woman or anybody, please come out, guys, and talk and aware more people. And that's because you coming out sharing your story gonna inspire lots of people. And then,
it's like I always say, like dreams of resilience. It's not just
me and Dozah.
What we're trying to build is about the community. It's about people struggling. It's about what is your goal. Like how can I be like you guys? And then obviously just share the story and the struggles that we've been through. It's just for everyone really.
I'm just going to interrupt you there actually, Dozah, because when you talk about struggles, there's something we haven't touched on yet completely, and this is cross culture. And there are struggles, and it's what I'm so happy about is that there's three of us sitting on screen together, and none of us are Caucasian, and it's a big deal. This is a big deal for me.
It's a big topic to discuss about it because I was born in India and I came here with all that struggle, and then now I'm a part of this community and culture. You know what I'm saying? I would never got treated badly. And we all are together. Those as you come from different cultures as well.
I mean, to be fair, like with my story, it's a bit different because like I've never had a father figure. So it was like my sister and my mum that basically took that sort of father figure, and then obviously with the mum things going on as well. So it's like a lot going on for them as well. So seeing that also was a struggle for me growing up, and there's a lot. There's a lot of struggles, man, that goes through, like, everyone's different, so everyone's got their own struggles and their own demons that they're fighting as well.
And we don't realise this. And for me, I'm first generation. My parents migrated over here many years ago, and they paid their taxes and everything before we get the calls. But they were very much, because Malaysia was a colony, it was very much, just don't raise your head, don't say anything, don't do it. And you learn to not say anything.
The stereotype. I mean, that's how been going for long, if you are from certain country, you're not allowed to say certain things. But us coming out, breaking that barrier is very, very important, to bring in our own people, not just our own people, like we are from different race. We are from different race right now, but we're bringing it together for everyone. So struggle's gonna be there, but it's how you break through the struggle.
Break through it.
Are you the person who's just gonna sit home and cry about your struggles? Or are you just gonna come out, no, I'm not that kind of person, I'm gonna bring out my community, I'm gonna bring out my family name, I'm gonna break this barrier, and I'm gonna be the 1 in 100. And you coming out being a 1 in 100 is gonna be 100 out of 1,000.
And it will inspire
more and more people. So man, it's quite interesting. It's quite touchy as well.
It is. I know. So we won't be
emotional because struggles builds you.
It builds you. It does.
It builds you up. It builds you. You came to realize that you wasn't that person before, but now you are so stronger. But nothing can break you. There's nothing force in this world that can break you mentally, because mental is everything. Like mental strength is everything, and it's quite interesting. It's just gonna make me emotional.
It's like one of the things like how I used to look at it. If I'm struggling, let's say on a Saturday or anything like that, I don't really see it as a struggle. Obviously, it's a struggle, but like I try reframe it in my mind as in like it's a character building day.
That's it.
So it's like
I love that.
It's
a character building day.
It's an opportunity.
Love it.
That's what I look at.
Look at a character building day.
So it's like. It's how you take it and how you actually reflect on your life.
Perceiving.
That's it.
It's back to perception.
It's a perception, you're thinking it's a struggle is an opportunity for you to get a new thing.
Yeah.
Or is just another day of staying down.
Yeah.
I mean, I could talk to you forever, but we can't because my producer's looking at me. Where can we find you if we want to follow you and join in with your community that you're creating? What's your website?
We're on TikTok, Instagram, and then you can actually follow us on Dreams and Resilience. For now, it's just TikTok and Instagram.
TikTok and Instagram, and we put our long contents on, which are the podcasts
and stuff.
Influencing and long fitness training videos, vlogs as well on the YouTube
channel, yeah.
So we got YouTube channel, Instagram, TikTok for now, yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Ricky and Dozah, from Dreams and Resilience. On today's Business Boost, I'm going to talk about how to use social media responsibly. Now, if you're old like me, the wrong side of 40, you will probably be using social media feeling a bit like a dinosaur. You don't necessarily know what TikTok is. You don't necessarily know anything other than Facebook. Or I may be really misjudging you, but the good news is we all learn social media as a tool. It is not an extension of our personality. If we're not on it, we don't necessarily feel like we're missing out. But the question is, do you need to be on it? For many businesses, we need to have a presence online, whether that's a website, whether it is one platform such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, X, or any of the platforms that are available. It's helpful to have somewhere that people can search for you, partly because, especially if you're appealing to a younger demographic, they will all be online. But you do not need to be everywhere. If, however, you choose certain platforms, you will find that one platform often speaks to the others. So whilst you can't tailor or curate your message quite as easily, it maybe takes up less of your time. And if not many of your clients use those platforms, again, it allows you a presence, but without having to worry too much about it. The other thing you need to think about is whether that means of communication is the most helpful at all. Now, I've talked about burlesque, and I run a burlesque dance class, and my class asked me to go onto Facebook because that was the easiest place to contact. I was just generally using email. So find out from your clients, find out from the people who use your business what the best form of communication is. Certainly, I used to work in the NHS, and one of the issues there was that patients were not being sent letters. It was all being done online, and I understand why, because we're trying to be paperless, but for the older patients, this was becoming more difficult. So please be aware of the means of communication that you're using. And finally, when it comes to social media, the message is also key. Your question mark may be, do I hire somebody to do my social media? It is a very time-consuming and a very thought-provoking type of job. So hiring somebody just leaving school who maybe is very savvy on social media may or may not be the best thing. Yes, they're savvy on social media, but the question is, are they going to put across your message in the way you want? Can they be trusted to respond to questions and comments and so on in the way that portrays your business the best? So in summary, when it comes to social media, yes, we do often, especially now, need an online presence. However, it does not need to be on every single platform. I am so fired up after that.
Me too. After watching and listening to the guys, they were so motivational.
Yes, and
so interesting,
but authentic.
Exactly. That's what I love.
Yeah,
you can tell they've got a completely genuine love for what they do.
Yes, and this is so important. We've mentioned authenticity on the show a lot. But social media isn't always authentic. Some people are really trying really hard to put across who they really are. But at the end of the day, we tend to just post our highlights, and we've got to remember that. So what are your key takeaways from today? There are many.
I've got two. Can I say two?
Yeah, of course.
So one of them is to do exercise that is appropriate and safe for you now. So 20 years ago, I would be always on a horse, in the swimming pool, or dancing, or on the ski slope. Wow. That's where I lived if I wasn't at work. I couldn't do that now, it'd kill me. So I have to adjust. And the exercise is about, with the, I can't remember what they were called, but the bands, the exercise bands. The resistance bands,
exactly. Yes.
They're perfect because they really build up bone strength, which I know is something you asked about. So that's really good. So that was like a key takeaway. Do what's good for you now, what you used to do. And the other one is to give yourself short-term goals, because I'm guilty of, in 12 months, I want to look like that. And, you know, you forget. And it's 12 months is such a long way away. So, yeah, it's achievable goals, short-term ones. No.
Yes, and then you might be spurred on because you're seeing the results as well when they are short-term. I like that.
Yeah.
For me, it was actually that 10% that they talk about, you know, the 10% of trolls and the 10% of mean people out there. Yes, there will be, and I think we have to acknowledge that, but it's not the majority, and that's so important to remind ourselves, because I know whenever I get a criticism or there's a nasty comment or something like that, that plays on me for, I would say, 90% of my week. And yet,
it's
actually,
the negativity you take with you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate that that's what happens.
It is the way our brains are set up, in that the brain is there to help us survive, which does mean that if we're not looking out for negativity, how do we know if there's a threat or a problem? So I kind of get it. But at the same time, if you allow that to be the only thing that you focus on, it is at the expense of all the other positive things that you can be doing. And that stark reminder that really it is only a tiny, tiny minority who are like that. Go and focus on the positive people. And that's why we have this space here to have those positive conversations. That to me was a real kind of, I'm glad you repeated that.
It's a reinforcement of what we already probably know, but actually it's good to be reminded.
Yes, and to hear people say that. And I guess my second one was, because I'm in the mental health field, I have a presumption, because I talk about men's mental health quite a lot, that it is getting better. From what they're saying, and they're out in the field of fitness, where it is quite a male space, it isn't necessarily. And so just because it's on our landscape, it doesn't mean it's happening all over.
That's a good point.
That
is a good point.
Sad in a way, isn't it?
Well, it is. I think it was Dozah who said, you know, the man is seen as the head of the family, and they're not allowed to give time to their own mental health. They just have to get on with things. And I think that's probably still true in a lot of families, or with a lot of men. They think, I can't, I just have to get on with it. So to see them bringing that to the fore alongside people like yourself is brilliant.
And role modelling it, which is what they're doing for the younger people who are watching them. It is about role modelling our mental well-being, because it's not a case of do as I say, because if you're working late, or you're not looking after your mental health, or you're not processing your emotions in a healthy manner, how are people who are looking up to you going to be able to do that? And so that is why we do this show. So hopefully you will take away every single week from our amazing guest experts, and they are fabulous.
Brilliant.
Those little tips and tools that you can implement in your own life. And if you have, please drop us a comment. Let us know what you've been up to. And of course, if you want to come on the show, share your story, share your business, please email studio@wellbeingmedia.org, and we will happily do a show.
Absolutely.
But that's it this week on Mental Health Matters. Thank you for tuning in, and stay healthy.